Grindtime morning show. Grindtime in the morning, top of the morning. DB, what's good this morning?
Man, what's going on, man? Top of the morning, man. Nothing much, man. Back at it, man. Like we never left, man.
Like we never left, DB. Late nights.
The early mornings, man.
Early mornings, baby. That's how we getting it. It's the Grindtime morning show back on this Tuesday. The games last night, DB, was a few upsets in the NBA. Going into these playoffs, man, I don't know what these dudes doing, man.
Man, you know what? I caught a few of them games down, man.
You did?
It's like your boy can see the future, man. You hear me?
You did, man.
Crazy.
You did. Several upsets last night, if you ask me. We're going to start with the number one team in the league, man. What happened to the Boston Celtics last night? They actually go into Atlanta, lose the game 118-120, a 2-point loss to the Hawks. But the Boston Celtics at one point in this game had a 30-point lead, DB. What happened to them? How did they collapse so bad?
Man, they just couldn't keep tabs with the Hawks, man. The Hawks, man, they didn't give up, man. They came to play, man. They had that momentum running.
They did, but they didn't even have their leading scorer. They didn't have their all-star Trae Young playing last night, and they still beat the number one team in the league.
Yeah, it seems like everybody had the same common goal, man, and they found some type of cohesiveness and was able to work together and communicate like a team should and pull it together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I felt it, man. I knew something down in me said them boys was gonna lose to the Hawks. The defense was there and everything. It was just so easy to see because the game in the beginning it was a close game. It was running and then like they pulled off, but they were able to bring it back.
I don't know how you saying it was easy to see and the Celtics was up by 30 points at one point in that game. At one point, I thought the game was super over, let alone easy to see.
Well, in the beginning, I saw how it was going, and I just seen how the momentum was up, the spirits was high, and they had the hustle to them. Well, if a team got a hustle to them, anything is possible, man. And
it's the NBA.
It's the NBA, and then let's talk about your boy Jaylen Brown. Talking about some no type of man. They lost the game. He couldn't even get a man a five.
Oh, he couldn't. No type of sportsmanship, huh?
No type of sportsmanship, man. No type of sportsmanship. Walked off on him, slapped the man's hand down.
Hey, man. So you got a problem with that? Because he could be a little salty about the loss, but this the best team in the NBA. What that say to me? If I'm a fan of the Celtics, I'm happy. I'm going, look at my guy. He ain't even happy. He like, forget that. We wasn't supposed to lose. I ain't giving you dudes no props. I like that.
Yeah, but nah, man, you shouldn't be like that, man. You know, you've been spanking cats all season, man.
That's true.
It's your turn, man. Chin up, man. Test out. Go on, do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Congratulate them. Good game. It ain't like it hurt y'all. Record. Like, I mean, it ain't take out no spot.
Right.
Give them they props. They deserve it. You fumbled the ball.
Right. You know they happy they beat you.
They happy they beat you. You gave them a 30-point lead. You and your man's JT, man. Like, so, hey, congratulate to the Hawks, man. I seen it. I've been waiting on this, and you know.
Yeah, Jason Tatum had 37 points. Brown had 24. Porzingis was the third leading scorer with 17. The Celtics had pretty good scoring last night, but they gave up a fairly even set of scoring to the Atlanta Hawks. 24 from Hunter, 22 from Bogue, 19 from Murray, and Capella 14 and 12. Yeah, I mean, it's a recipe for disaster. And me thinking about the Hawks versus the Celtics, if I was to know that was going to be the stat line, I would still think the Celtics would win. But unfortunately, they lose that game last night.
And they shot 11 from 38 from the three-point line.
They did.
28%. See, and guess what?
28%, and they gave up, what, 50%?
Yup, and they gave up 50%. So
Mm-hmm.
that goes to show you right there that 3 hours ain't gonna save you.
I
Hey, you gonna
agree.
live by it, you gonna die by it, and
That's
that's
right.
the Hawks.
They just died by it last night. They couldn't get the threes to drop. Cause come on, they were up by 30 points at one point in the game. Even though they let the Hawks close the gap, they shot 28% from the three. If they make 2 or 3 more threes, they easily still win the game.
Well, it's bigger than that because you gave up 30.
I
And on
agree.
top of that, what
That's
that
crazy.
tells me is that your defense was trash.
That's crazy. Yeah, for
Your
a
defense was
championship type
trash.
team, you definitely need to tighten up on the defensive end a little bit.
I had up on the defense. You don't want to see nobody. You don't want to see Denver nobody. You give those 30-point leads. You don't want
Yeah.
to see nobody. Like we
Might
already
not
know.
want to see the
Right?
Bucks.
I know they don't want to see the Bucks. Who gonna stop Giannis? Dame running. You got Middleton. You got Beasley on the 3-point line. You got Lopez.
Yeah, but
You
the
know what I
Bucks
mean?
just not as consistent as the Celtics. That's the only reason I would give the Celtics the advantage over the Bucks.
But I'm gonna stay with the Bucks.
Stay with the Bucks versus the Seas. Okay, well we're gonna do that bet because if that happens, I definitely take the Seas. Well, the Seas do drop last night, but they still have the best record in the NBA. Another one of the upsets that we were talking about from yesterday, not necessarily an upset because the Pacers are a pretty good team, but they shouldn't be beating the Clippers at this point in the season. The Clippers kind of on a little slide, and they need to be gaining some momentum going in the playoffs, considering the years and years that they've had upon failing by the time they get to the playoffs. This is not a good thing. Your man James Harden don't seem like he's showing up to help your boys out, DB. What's going on with him?
Well, I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Russ. Russ back, man. Good to see Russ back.
Russ is back.
Russ is back. He played last night good.
Oh, wow.
I'm saying hand good surprised me. I thought he was gonna need more time, but obviously he didn't. Russ is back. I don't know what's up with James Harden, man. James Harden. Well, I ain't gonna say I don't know what's up because obviously he do the same thing every year, every season as it get closer. It's evident. I done seen it too many times from him. We all have. It's just what to be expected from him. I'm not even surprised. No matter what team you put him on, no matter how good he played, as the season closes out, he shrinks.
He shrinks, man.
That's what it is.
And I don't understand why. And don't get me wrong, still could easily dish out 9 to 11 assists, but his scoring drops, and the Clippers dropped that game, a game, in my opinion, that they needed in order to stay in the position that they in the West. You don't want to fall further than 4. I mean, they already the fourth. They don't want to be the 5th team. They want to keep that first round home court advantage. You know what I mean? They don't want to lose that, especially the way that they playing. But it is a good thing that Russ is back.
Yeah, and Russ played 18 minutes. Russ played 18 minutes, gave you 14 points, 7 assists.
With a broken hand.
And 4 rebounds, with a broken hand. 5 for 10, 50% from the field goal. James Harden gave you 11, 3, and 7. 11, 7, and 3. He played 34 minutes.
I saw that.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, well, it's at this point, I'm not even surprised. It's expected. I was never surprised. I know what he do when the season closes out like this. He's a no-show. You can't depend on him. He's unreliable.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy from a 2-time. I believe he won MVP 1 time, but I know he won the scoring title several times. In all those years he was having those triple-doubles with the Houston Rockets, you would think he'd be able to bring that game, dial it back a little bit, and it would translate to more W's for the Clippers. But the Clippers are kind of up and down nowadays, so they do fall last night. 116 to 133 to the Pacers. Behind 31 from Siakam, 21 and 9 and 1 from Halliburton, 24 from Miles Turner. The Pacers got pretty even scoring across their starting front, DB.
Let me tell you, man, the Pacers was shooting out the gym. They couldn't stop them. Did you? Oh my God, they could not stop the Pacers last night. They could not. They couldn't listen. The turnovers, the defense the Pacers was putting out there, the steals they was getting it with the transition, running back down court, dunking the ball, coming back, man, getting back down court after another stop, pulling up for the 3. Siakam coming through the lane off from the transition, from looking like Giannis.
Right. Siakam got a big game. Siakam a champion. He won in Toronto. He a pretty good player.
Yeah, dunking the ball, but he's showing it. He's still producing. He's coming through for the team. You seen the type of number that they put up against LA last night. And they tried to, the other night, the Lakers, and they tried to do the Lakers, but unfortunately we weren't going for it. I like to have too, my brother. Shout out to the Lakers.
Right on. Shout out to the Lakers. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But so what? Clippers just couldn't sustain. The Clippers, I don't know how they record is what that is, but they just not. Like I said, I don't see them in no time, no longer.
You don't see them being a real force in the playoffs.
Nah, I don't.
Not at all. Okay. Well, maybe they be out in the first round or something. Because the way that they playing, man, all of that up and down, they could easily be gotten by a team that they should beat. But the Pacers, man, in my opinion, they got a pretty good chance going into the playoffs. If Halliburton can be a little bit more consistent coming off his injury, with Pascal Siakam scoring 31, Miles Turner giving you 24, they're a dangerous team in the East.
I agree. Yeah, they're a dangerous team. They're at least they might not take it all the way, but they're not gonna make it all the way. But they're gonna take somebody with them when they go.
Right. Another one of the upsets last night. Another one of our favorites, the Phoenix Suns fall in San Antonio to the Spurs without Victor Wembanyama because he didn't even play last night. The Suns lose 102-104. It was a close game. KD 29, 6 and 8. Book 36, 4 and 6. Bradley Beal just 9, 6 and 5. It'd be nice if they big three could show up, man. I don't know why all three of these superstar players can't put a good game together on the court at night.
That's a good question. They paying him all that money. Bradley Beal had 9 points for 30 minutes. He was in the game. Where you
St. Louis is on.
Where you was at, man? Like what was you doing, man? 9 points in 30 minutes, man.
Yeah,
like, come on, man. You gotta do better than that, man. KD, he came. He 29 points. He was 12 for 17, 4 for 6 from the 3-point line.
That's what you need from KD.
Yeah, that's what you need from KD with a little more defense. They team didn't play no defense.
Yeah, no defense.
They should have lost. They should have lost, man. The defense that they was giving out, it was trash. It was, man. They was allowing them to shoot and do what they wanted to do. Them young boys was doing what they wanted to do.
Yeah, Sochin had 26, 1, and 18. Is that rebounds? Oh, Jesus. 26, 7, and 4 for Vassell, 18, 3, and 5 for Collins, 14, 5, and 3 for the Spurs. They had pretty even scoring. Somebody got 18 rebounds on KD and the Suns, man. Do they have a big man? Who's the big man down there? Is it Nurkic? What Nurk doing?
He didn't do nothing in his 19 minutes. And then not only that, you had Ball out there for a minute. You had O'Neal. You had O'Neal out there. And you had Eubanks out there. Nobody. And he played 21 minutes. Neal played 26 minutes. So I mean, there was. I told there was no defense out there at all. They came in the paint. They was dunking. They did what they wanted to do.
Cats need to learn how to box out in Phoenix, man. 18 rebounds to one of the players, man. That in my opinion is where you lost the game, especially when you only lose by 2.
They said hand down, man down. I seen a lot of hands down. Honestly, I seen cats open at the 3-point line just shooting. Like everybody's sitting in the huddle, just bunched up right there, looking at them.
The Phoenix Suns.
The Phoenix Suns. I don't know if they was pulling bluffs or they was just tired. They was getting ran out the gym from young boys, caught their momentum. I don't know what it was, but they didn't do what they supposed to do. They lost.
They picking a bad time to stack up losses. Them and the Golden State Warriors as we close out the season, and they barely in the playoffs. They in the play-in. But yeah, the Phoenix Suns lose that game 102-104. You got something else?
Yeah, I'm actually calling them down I'm calling them down, man. And the crazy thing about it is, I don't bet. But the way I'm calling these games down, I should be going to go play some bets. You know what I mean? I should go play some. But that's a whole other story for a different day.
Yeah, we'll have that conversation on another day for sure. Yeah, because I might need to get some pointers from you. Y'all doing pretty good lately. Yeah, the Suns lose that game to the Spurs We also had last night the Nuggets, the defending champions. They took on the Grizzlies. They win that game 128-103. Jokic nearly clocks another triple-double. Just easy, just effortless for the champs. They didn't have Jamal Murray last night. They still had a good game. They still made a good showing. Braun was the second leading scorer with 17, then Michael Porter Jr., Reggie Jackson off the bench with 15 points. I think the champs rounding in the form. They can get Jamal Murray back on the court healthy. I'm sure he's not out for anything major. I ain't heard anything major. They probably just sitting him, getting him ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, most likely. They don't really need him right now. Especially not against the Grizzlies. Don't sit him out. You know, he don't. You know, this is lightweight tonight, man. Honestly,
for sure.
I wasn't even excited about watching this game.
But it's the champs, though. I'm just watching the Nuggets to see where they at, because they the other team in the league right now, other than the Celtics, that got a 50-win record right now. They got 51 wins. So I'm just trying to see if they in championship mode, and that's what it's looking like to me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. You know, anybody could lose at any given time. You know what I mean? Prime example. You know, we just seen it last night. You know, with a few teams. You know, that should have won, but they didn't.
I agree. So,
you know, it just I knew they was gonna win. You know, I of course I clicked the channel TV on. I looked at it for a minute, but you know I had to go cover some other games. So that's just what I did, and yeah, man. So Nuggets, they took it, they got it. I ain't surprised.
Number one team in the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets. They look like they in championship form, man. Could be a lot of trouble in the West, a lot of problems for a lot of people. We also had another team that's looking to try to get in one of those last play-in spots, but they're out of the playoffs currently. The Houston Rockets, they took on the Portland Trail Blazers last night. They win the game 110-92 behind Jalen Green leading the Rockets. He gives basically the Blazers their 52nd loss of the season. The Blazers, between the Blazers, the Wizards, the Hornets, and the San Antonio Spurs, man, I don't know which one of those teams. All of them dudes on all four of those teams are getting paid for nothing to me.
Yeah, they passing out checks, man. I'm finna go to the draft. I finna go to the NBA drafts, man. See if I can get me a check, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to get one too, man. It's like welfare over there or something.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
They handed them out.
They handed them out, man.
To these scrubs, man. To these scrubs that think they franchise players, man. Yeah, man. You got 16 wins on, and there ain't no franchise players on the team, on them type of teams. Other than Wemby, and that's because he's a rookie.
Yeah, them college freshmen they playing, man.
Yeah, a lot of these dudes are losing the tournament, DB. That's what I feel like. Yeah, well, the Rockets did pull that out without their superstar Şengün, 110-92. Hopefully, I guess the Rockets are hoping to get in one of them play-in spots. They would be a dangerous team, you know, especially if I thought that they had that Şengün guy. But Jalen Green he's been balling as of late. He had a pretty good game last night. We also had the Philadelphia 76ers go to Sacramento, taking on the Kings. The Sixers lose that game 96-108. Sabonis sets an NBA record for double-doubles in a season. Did you see the game last night, DB, or watch the highlights?
So I didn't really get a chance to watch that, catch some highlights and all like that. But obviously, you know, they came to play. I know it's a good matchup. That was one of the games I would love to call. I didn't get a chance to catch it though. But as you can see, Sabonis came out, did his thing. He triple-double.
Yeah.
You know,
triple-double like nothing.
With the W, you know, 11 points, 10 assists.
Man, he be having good triple-doubles too. He be having that 10 assists, 11 or 12 rebounds on a low-scoring 10 to 15 points. Like he ain't taking too many shots. He he playing his part out there. Yeah, and
then you know, I agree. It wasn't a really high-scoring game. It was still up there though. It's still in the 200s, still a 200, you know, scoring game.
200 plus, yeah.
You know, Monk, he only had 11 points. He was here for 26 minutes. Your stars. So Barnes had 6. Murray had 23. Fox had 23. You know, they pulled it off. They still pulled it off. Usually, well, let's round about 20, 23, 25 plus numbers that them boys normally give you. So I mean, uh, somebody still came out and did something. They took the W home. I guess
Right.
they so it was a nice little small man's game, with Sabonis in it. So, we give it to him.
Yeah, Kings take that game 108-96 to the Sixers. Kings looking pretty good going into the playoffs. They looking rounded out. They a dangerous team, definitely. We also had the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Utah Jazz last night. Kyrie and Luka, way too much for the Utah Jazz last night. They win it 115-105. Did you see the game last night, DB? How the Mavs looking to you going into the playoffs?
Mavs looking good. They stay running it up. They steady running it up, man.
Kyrie and Luka both pretty consistent night after night.
Yup, and Luka giving you these triple doubles with the W. You know what I'm saying? They doing what they need to do to bring it home and pull it off. And they're pulling it off.
They are. I agree.
They're pulling it off. I'm not even surprised that they beat Utah. Hell, they beat the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, they've been beaten. They've been regularly beating some good teams, man. And a lot of their games are close, but they seem to have control of it in the end. Under pressure, they score pretty well under pressure. If you let the Mavs stay close in the game, that's the thing. If the Mavericks are close in the game, I'm betting my money on the Mavericks because they got Luka and they got Kyrie. They both seem to me to be clutch shot makers.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that. I actually kind of took the words right out of my mouth. Like you said, if teams stay close, and just at the end of the game, it just boils down to who can hold the composure. You know what I mean? Who can keep it hot, and who can finish it.
Is there, in your opinion, a more dangerous team in the NBA in that scenario than the Mavs? Because they got the guy who made the biggest, most clutch shot in NBA history out there.
I mean, sheesh, that's a good question. Man.
Mavs clutch is top shelf to me.
Yeah, I mean, they got Kyrie, you got Luka. Both of them is pretty clutch players. Last minute.
Yeah.
Scores.
Destroy you, rip your heart out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they're a good team. When it comes to closing, Steph, I think he's another good one. Even though they're not doing so good right now, but that's another team that actually. Well, Steph is one of the people on the other team that can pull it off. Right now, I'll give it to those two to be so clutch like that. In the closings, a lot of other teams, Denver, they'll do it too.
Denver got clutches too, definitely with Jamal Murray and Yoke, definitely.
Yeah. So they're my three.
I just like how the Mavs looking, especially going into the playoffs. They dangerous. They're at the bottom of the playoff bracket, but especially those teams that they can possibly face in the play-in, I'm almost going to definitely bet my money on Dallas to beat whoever they playing, honestly. Yeah, so the Mavericks take that game. Another game last night, we had the Washington Wizards, the worst team in the NBA, take on the Chicago Bulls, and they actually pull it out. Jordan Poole and the Wizards get the victory. They win their 14th game of the season. Do you think Jordan Poole and the Washington Wizards can build on, I guess, whatever they've learned throughout this season, losing so many games, and actually be a decent team next season?
I think they could be a better team next season. They still fighting. Their record is horrible, but
right.
You beating these teams. The Bulls on back-to-back losses. They on back-to-back losses. But the fact that you came and let the Wizards beat you by 2 points is crazy. But I do think that they can come and get it together and get a good start for next season, and try to
Yeah.
get them a little win, earn them a little win, and spread their wings, to get going. Long as Jordan Poole and a couple other players, or the take get some cohesiveness and some consistency, they can do it.
Kyle Kuzma. I think they need a big man. They need they definitely need another star player over there. I don't know if they even got a for real star player, but you know what I mean. They need another big name player over there to help that squad out, man. I think maybe they could probably get to 30 plus wins next season.
Yeah, they need a few pieces. I agree. They need a few pieces. They need a name, and they need a big man. I agree.
Right.
And give them that. I think they're going to run. I think they're going to run, honestly.
Yeah, the Wizards and the Bulls. Yeah, that was a sleeper right there. I definitely didn't check that game out, but I did want to put it up just because the Wizards won, and they win so rarely. So let me get them their props on this show. And the last topic that I got for today is not about the game yesterday, but about basketball. There was a report came out. It's a betting scandal from a Toronto Raptor player. His name is Jonte Porter. They found out that he was betting on sports gambling sites in January. He he barely plays, but they have a gambling line for every single player on the team. So he was taking the under on himself, and basically the gambling site snitched on him because they reported the next day after the games that he actually took the under on himself and won, that these were like some of the largest payouts for a particular player on these two particular days. So they were easily able to kind of pinpoint and realize that he was doing it. And because he did some fishy stuff in the game, he was taking the under on his 3-point attempts and the under on his rebounds, and he basically he checked out of the game. He said his eye was messed up in one of the games, and then in another game it was something else fishy that went on, and in order for him to win on those gambling bets that he took. This is just one story, but gambling is just taking over all of the sports leagues. Do you think at this point it's a foregone conclusion that regularly people are betting on themselves in these games and then actually, going into the game and making sure that they win the bet?
I think somehow, some way, that's possible. Even if you got a middleman or a third party guy that's doing it for you,
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. You just the brains of the operation. I think it's happening.
Because you bet on what your number's gonna be, then you go on the court and you make sure you make those numbers. If you say under 20, then once you get to 17, you're gonna make sure you miss the rest of those shots, right?
Exactly. I think one of the worst things they could have did in today's game is allow the gambling to be a part of this, because it's all about the money.
Yeah.
There's no heart.
They're playing for money.
They're playing for money. There's no heart, no emotion in the game of wanting to be the best and win it. It's all about the dollar, man.
It's all about money now.
And it's no fair. And it's actually, you robbing the fans. You robbing the fans. You robbing the customers. You know what I mean? It's no fair to the hard-working people who got to scrape this money up, man, to come watch these games because they have faith and they want to see their favorite team and their best players play. You know what I mean? Like it's just no fair. It's no fair for the people, no matter what. Even if people is buying these sports packages on TV, you know what I mean, at home to watch these games, it's just not.
And cats out here throwing games.
And they're here throwing games for the money, and you already.
And you betting your money at home, thinking they going out there playing their hardest, and you don't even know the fix is in, man. Your money gone.
Your money gone, and obviously you're in the NBA, so obviously you do good for yourself. You make a good living. You know what I mean? You're not out here struggling. You're getting paid to play a game. If that ain't good, I don't know what it is, man. Some people just take things for granted, man. And situations in life for granted. When there's people out here that's much more in need and struggling than what you are, have some dignity and some integrity and do the right thing, man, and give these people what they pay for and what they're looking for.
I agree. Yeah, it's almost too much to ask for nowadays, man. Everybody about the bag, man. It's sad. But yeah, I wanted to bring up that story because I saw that and I thought about it before. I was like, man, with the gambling sites and the fact that they just allow gambling throughout all of the sports leagues, that thing is gonna get bad, and I eventually see it spilling onto the court like with regularity. If they do a deep, thorough investigation, I'm sure they'll uncover other players doing it as well. Well, that's our show for today. This is the Grindtime Morning Show. Catch us Monday through Friday. 7 a.m. CST should be when we dropping it, but it'll be sometime in the morning. Once again, this is Baldhead and DB. We signing off today, y'all. Peace.
Peace.